Hi everyone, this is Warren. Today we're going to talk about how to raise seed money to purchase real estate, whether it's a single family house, small multifamily, that's a duplex to four family, or even a large complex, let's say a 20 unit, 40 unit, 50 unit, even 100 unit property, subject to what market you're looking at. Property that size, your down payments can range anywhere from $300,000 to $1 million, based on the type of property you're looking at, what type of class property, whether it's a Class A property, Class B property, or a Class C property. Now, for those of you who are new to the real estate investing arena, one of the first things you learn is that if you don't have seed money, it is difficult to finance deals. Many of you probably have already purchased programs wherein you learn how to do no money down deals, subject to deals, deals wherein that requires some level of creative financing because you may not have the necessary equity to get involved in that particular deal. Listen, I've been there. I've gone through those challenges myself, and it's a hard place to be in, especially when you have a really good deal that you would like to do. Today's call is dealing with how we can structure these transactions wherein that you do have the capital and potential sources of capital for seed money. I'm not going to deal with or go in depth in the no money down area. That's going to be for another audio, but I will touch on no money down because it's a very good way to access deals without having a lot of capital available in your pocket in order to do so. Now, a lot of people don't understand no money down. Usually they think that no money down means there's no money going to the table in the form of a down payment. That's not what necessarily no money down means. No money down means that the money is not coming out of your pocket. So it actually shouldn't be called no money down. It should actually be called no money out of your pocket. So the question is, if it's not coming out of your pocket, then whose pocket is the money coming out of? And that starts the quest, the money hunt. Whose money is the down payment going to come out of in order for you to finance your deal? Now, many no money down courses will teach you how to get the seller to contribute towards the down payment of the property. And that is one aspect of the no money down, no money out of your pocket scenario, getting the seller to finance the down payment. And in some cases, if you are very knowledgeable, you can possibly even get the seller to finance the whole transaction. But let's look briefly at a no money down scenario. One of the strategies that I've used in regards to no money down is utilizing a seller note as a mechanism for covering the down payment. For an example, if you have a property that's selling for $200,000, and let's say the bank says you need 20% down for easy math. Well, 20% of $200,000, that's $40,000. So that means you have to come up with a down payment of $40,000. And the balance, the $160,000 that's remaining, can be financed in the form of a note to the bank. So where do you get that $40,000? Well, what you can do is create a promissory note to the owner. In particular, if you can secure the $160,000 that you need in financing. So it's very important that before you even come up with a note, you position yourself to get qualified for the financing, that $160,000. You can either do it through a brokerage firm, mortgage broker, your local commercial bank, community bank, credit union. If your credit score is in good standing, you've got impeccable credit, it makes it a lot easier for you to get pre-qualified for that financing. When you have the qualifications for the financing, then when you submit your offer to the owner, they already see now not only that you have an offer for their property at full value, if their asking price is $200,000, you also are coming to the table with proof of the capacity and ability to fund 80% of the loan. In your offer agreement, you create a section of that offer, and your attorneys can write this in, wherein that as part of the down payment, you ask the seller to carry a note for the $40,000. And that note can be extended term-wise, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, a year, or even 5 years, subject to the length of time you think you need in order to cover and pay off that note. Now, part of what I recommend is that the property that you're purchasing should be an income-producing property. But if it's not, you can still utilize this strategy. Again, very important, get pre-qualified for the 80% of the mortgage so that the seller sees that you're very serious and you've already taken the step to secure a mortgage. So once you submit the offer, you're offering the seller full price for the property, but at the same time, you're also securing that seller in the knowledge that you can go to closing, even though you're asking that seller to finance a portion of asking price, the down payment of $40,000. Now, will all sellers accept this? No. But if you do your research and your due diligence, in particular, finding that seller on your own, you'll find that there are some sellers that will be motivated enough to say, hey, let me look at this deal seriously. Remember, you're an investor. So part of the process of acquiring real estate is that you're going to have to sift through dozens of properties before you find the right one that you can apply this particular strategy to. There are other no money out of your pocket strategies that you can utilize. And those of you who are interested in no money out of your pocket strategies can reach out to our firm, our company, click on the link, and it'll take you to one of our information pages. Submit your name, email, and address, and phone number, and one of our trained staff will respond back to you. Now, let's continue. Currently, I think one of the best ways to access seed money or that down payment money is utilizing bank financing. in the form of business lines of credit. These lines of credit can come in the form of credit cards or lines of credit that you access via either a debit card or a check. Again, like the first example, where you needed to qualify for the 80% portion of the financing, you will need to qualify for these types of lines of credit. But the benefits to accessing these lines of credit is that for those sellers who are not inclined to want to take a note as part of the down payment, you can now go to the table with cash in hand to do your transaction. There are many lenders now that offer these lines of credit at 0% interest, meaning you have no interest payment anywhere from 6 months, and in some cases even a year. That allows you to basically use the bank's money for free. But like I said a few minutes ago, you have to qualify. Now, what is necessary to qualify for these types of lines of credit? Well, hopefully you have some form of employment. You don't necessarily have to be employed to access these lines of credit, but you should have some form of income. And I'll explain why in a couple of minutes. The second thing that you need is good credit. Again, good credit for our purposes basically is in the range of 700, 720, 750 or better. That is what we have considered that is good credit. Now, if your credit score is not that high, don't worry about it. Part of what I teach you is if your credit is in the tank, find a partner who understands what you're looking to accomplish, shares the same dream, and is willing to bring their credit as part of the partnership to the table to assist you in accomplishing your deal. There are many sources that you can go to find these kind of individuals, whether friends and family and or a local RIA or other type of sources that, as part of our training, we will help you to identify. There are literally hundreds and thousands of people out there that may not have the time to go look for these kind of deals, that would love to be a partner in a deal only if they can find somebody to work with who has the wherewithal to go look for the deal, do the due diligence, negotiate the deals, and bring these individuals in as partners. So, finding a partner that can qualify with the credit becomes important if you don't have the credit yourself. So, once you've got the credit situation taken care of, what we encourage you to do then, subject to the size of the deal, is to aggregate several of these lines of credit. And this is where the power of leverage comes in. You can target a deal that consists of one property, or you can target a deal that may have several properties as part of a package, or, as I explained initially, you can do a larger multi-family deal wherein that the requirements for the down payment may be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So let's say hypothetically you obtain a line of credit for $50,000 and you're looking at $1 million deal where you had to put down $250,000 as a down payment. Well, as I mentioned, you can aggregate several of these lines of credit. So in this case, you're looking at 5 in total, on averaging about $50,000 of these lines of credit that you can now use towards down payment and the purchase of property. And remember, some of these lines of credit, for the most part, are interest-free. So unlike owner financing, where you're asking the seller to carry a note wherein that you may have to pay interest, or you bring in a partner that you have to share interest with, if your credit is strong enough, you can do the deal on your own and build your real estate portfolio by accessing these lines of credit. Now, as I mentioned earlier, why do you need an income? Well, if you're going to borrow the down payment, as I mentioned before, the property that you should be purchasing should be an income-producing property. But you're still going to have to pay for the funds that you purchase. Even though you're not paying interest for 6 months or up to a year, you still have to pay back the principal. So you definitely do need some form of income coming allow you to pay off the principal that you're utilizing as your equity seed capital. So you should have some form of revenue, or your partner should have some form of revenue or income coming in order for you guys to pay off, or you as an individual to pay off the down payment portion of the transaction. So it's very important that you take this into consideration. You don't want to be in a situation where you borrow the down payment and there's not enough cash flow coming in to cover the financed bank portion, 80% of the transaction, and you barely have enough or not enough to cover the deposit or down payment portion of the transaction. So take that into consideration. My company is here to help you. We can help you access these lines of credit by getting you pre-qualified, determining which banks and lenders you can go to in order to access these lines, and help you structure these transactions wherein that you, whether you're a newbie or an experienced investor, can now start accessing lines of credit as a mechanism for having seed capital and down payment money towards your transaction. Again, lines of credit in the form of credit cards and or direct lines of credit you can write checks off for, to me, it's one of the best ways currently to access down payment money. I say it like this: if it was this easy for me when I started in real estate, I would have accumulated a whole lot more property than I have now. The marketplace is open to everyone who is interested in a real estate investor, and this is your opportunity to do so. Click on the link below, access our information, fill out the form, and join the network of individuals who are building wealth, acquiring real estate. And you can go on the road towards building wealth for yourself and your family. Friends, I want you to click on the link and have a good day. And for those of you, please like this page, subscribe, and share this information with others who you would like to bring in as potential partners, or you feel that can benefit from the information that I'm sharing with you today. Thank you.